the Australian perspective, one thing that immediately struck me, Robert, was how consistent this is with the experience in the United Kingdom, and from what I can gather, the experience in Canada and the United States. There seems to be international issues. It's almost as if there's been some sort of international choreography here, isn't there?
Well, it's interesting you should say that, John. I should say right up front that this book came about a meeting that I met with Mel McCann, who is my co-editor here. Mel is, she's not here, she's in northern Queensland, but if she's watching, I'm a little embarrassed, but I'll have to say Mel is one of the most remarkable family practitioners I've ever met. Yep. Single-handedly, she initiated a class action at her cost, yep. Largely at her cost, for the vaccine damaged in Australia. And it was held in Sydney, the legal court case, and I went along essentially as an innocent bystander, if you like. And I met Mel, and we got together, we had a meal, and we said, look, you know, we're seeing the same things from different points of view. Why don't we get colleagues that are seeing it from their point of view and put together a version which initially, as you say, was an Australian story, but it's the same story as you're seeing in the United Kingdom, my colleagues and friends are seeing in North America and Europe. And it's a story that's across the vaccinated world. Although this is not just a book about the vaccine, it's a book about the COVID era and what was happened, who made the decisions, what was good, what was not so good, quite a lot that's not so good. And Mel said, look, we really have to cover this story in a way that people understand the depth of sadness that occurred. And so we decided that we would put in the second half of the book a number of stories relating to terrible outcomes that have been neglected and not understood and not acted upon.
Yeah, and the amount of physical pain in some of those accounts are horrific.
Well, we could have written, as you know, John, because you've shared this experience. We could have written the whole book or another book, but we wanted to, as we did with the various aspects of the science, the economics, the press, the regulatory affairs, the pharmaceutics. We wanted to touch in an as objective fashion as we could. We've included references where we believe they're important without trying to overwhelm people with intricate science. We've tried to simplify that as much as we could, but at the same time, we're not running away from the fact that this is a science-based book, that we've tried to be evidence-based. It's a terrible term, I hate it, but it's the one that we all use, evidence-based.
It's become a slightly tarnished term lately, hasn't it?
Evidence-based has been in medicine for longer than I have, but it's only been a term for a lot less time. So I think when we all started, John, we did things without evidence, but now it's all evidence-based. It's okay.
That's right. And I had the pleasure of interviewing Dr. McCann in that very room where you're now sitting, Robert.
You did. Of course.
With a husband doing the filming. Yeah.
I'll say, Mel, you are a remarkable woman. You really are. I just hope that that recognition is made. Mel has basically handed her life over to doing what she can for the vaccine damaged people at, as I said, her cost.
But as the saying goes, she's on the right side of history. She will be vindicated sooner or later.
It'd be very nice if she can live a long time, because these things in history often take a few generations.
Indeed, they do. So, I mean, in the book we've got the pharmaceutical industry problem, then we've got perspectives from the bureaucrat, the family practitioner, the concerned physician scientist, the journalist, the immunologist, the vaccinologist, the oncologist, the statistician, the physician. medical leaders, the health professional, regulators, lawyers, economists, futurists. I mean, it is written by people with specialist knowledge in the field, but is still highly accessible. So the intelligent lay reader should definitely try and get this. Unfortunately, not available in e-copy yet, Robert. We're still in hard copy.
No, at the moment it's hard copy, but John, I understand you're going to be kind enough to put a link up.
Well, for sure. So that people can directly buy. Yeah, for sure, and hopefully PDF coming up. And any profits, I don't expect there will be many profits, but any profits that are made are going to help vaccine injured people.
Well, I rang Mel just before the interview to ask her to make sure you had the latest link for this, and she said that already many hundreds of. Well, it's only been out a week or so, and we've sold about 30 or 40% of the first printing. So it certainly hits a nerve. And people are fine. And the feedback we're getting is that they're liking it. They're finding it of value.
I think that's one of the catchphrases, not catchphrases, but one of the truths. It just hits a nerve. You read it and you go, oh yeah, that's right. It sort of it states the blatantly obvious that you hadn't quite realised before with clarity.
Together, I can assure you, John, it was a labour of love, but also. I don't think ever again I'll take on, even though all of these people are my friends, and they're still friends. I think it is very hard when you take what it was something like 18 or 19 people who are specialists in their area and try to meld them into a book with some sense of continuity and regularity about it. And what I have to do is give enormous credit to Housestead Press. The owner of Housestead Press took this on like I'm not sure Matthew is watching, but a bit like a mother hen. He ended up telling us what to do. He made the point that we have to tell people at the beginning what the book's all about. Yeah. You can imagine all us super duper specialists were interested in our own little bits. So with Matthew, I put together hey, this is what the book's all about. Matthew made it look a lot better than I would have. But Matthew came up with the design for the cover, which I think is brilliant.
It is.
And he put the order together, which was a very important thing to do. So, Matthew, if you are watching this, thank you so much. I owe you, my friend. You're a treasure.
Writing books is a particular skill set, isn't it?
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry, Robert.
He also publishes my map books.
Oh, okay, yeah. An excellent example of which I see in the background there.
None of which make a profit.
No. I'm just wondering who wrote the foreword of this book. It looks quite... John Campbell. Oh, okay. Yeah, a very small contribution, but.
Well, actually, when I read the foreword that John Campbell wrote for our book, I thought, well, we don't need anything else. We'll just put covers around it. He's covered it all.
Not at all. It only works because we stand. As we say, it only works because we stand on the shoulders of giants. It's yeah. Why was this whole COVID response necessary? Because Australia is a modern, sophisticated, scientific, dare we say, evidence-based country that had, as far as I understand it, a first-class pandemic plan in place for decades.
I know.
What happened?
What happened is why the book happened, because we lost the plot. We've experienced, I think it's 5 pandemics since 1900. We had the plague pandemic back in 1900.
Plague, yeah.
Australia handled pandemics extremely well.
Yeah.
As one can.
Yeah.
What we did is we learnt from the experience and we put those experiences into plans and we developed infrastructure because, we're an island nation and we needed to have our own research. The peculiarities of our geography required our own epidemiology to look at patterns. We needed to have our own source of vaccines and medications. So we developed the Commonwealth Serum Laboratory. We developed the Walter and Eliza Hall Institute, run by Macfarlane Burnett, who did all the underpinning work for the flu, which of course became, after the 1918-19 pandemic, was followed by 3 further pandemics between 1956 and about 2010. All of that was built. And so we developed a great strength in immunology particularly and virology. When it came to COVID, everything went out the door. We lost control of pandemic management, and we had imposed on us, as you did, a narrative that we really came out of the political, pharmaceutical, military complex in North America. They clearly wanted to test a different style. So the vaccine that they brought out did 2 things. It replaced the plans that were in place. And so we were on hold for a year until the messenger RNA and the DNA vector, the genetic vaccines became available. And that, of course, led to huge numbers of deaths. And we were precluded. All of this is in the book because it happened across the vaccinated world. The medications that were highly effective, of which a few of my colleagues and I wrote quite a significant amount in this book. Hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, highly effective, were banned simply because they got in the road of this megathon, this vaccine that we were promised, never really used in humans before, but it was a promised answer. And of course, it did no more than a flu vaccine would have, or an ordinary old-fashioned ground-up virus vaccine would, but it did a lot of damage. And I think that has created amongst a very intelligent population an understanding that something went wrong. And, there's never been an apology. Unless it occurred in the United Kingdom, we have never had an apology.
Anything but.
Anything but. And because we haven't had an apology, there's not been a recognition that mistakes were made. And because there's not been a recognition of mistakes being made, then we have this new industry of messenger RNA vaccines that are promised to take over our vaccine world. And there's a fantastic chapter in this book by one of the most remarkable women I've ever met. And I'll pick it out. Her name is Alison Beveridge. Alison,
oh, she's great. Yeah,
I
met her at the conference in Sydney we attended.
Well, I met her, and someone said, "This is Alison. She's a bus driver." I said, "Oh, hi, Alison, the bus driver." What I didn't know is that she was a very senior journalist
who was sacked.
No, she resigned because
on principle, right?
This one, there's a few that have been sacked, but she resigned because she refused to do what she was told to do, which was promote something she couldn't believe in. What Alison has done in this chapter, and it's fantastic, she has followed the money. Yep. And when you follow the money, it is scary. I happen to be reading, she's writing her own book at the moment, which she's a superb writer. She really is.
Totally readable. Yeah, 100%.
I love her dearly.
We'll put a link to her Substack, actually.
Yeah. She does have a Substack, yeah.
There's one about you and me, Robert, I believe.
Good thing I don't read Substacks.
From last April, yeah.
The lies. But
no, you come out quite well.
Well, that's because I give her lunch from time to time. But she's become a real family friend of ours. Which she finishes a bus day each day at about 12 and then comes over to our place on the way home.